So how can a country turn the simple act of traveling into a direct investment in the planet's future? Well, Papua New Guinea has a pretty fascinating answer. They're actually turning every tourist visit into a real investment in climate action. Let's break down exactly how they're doing it.
This statement right here from the head of the nation's climate authority, it really sets the stage. You can see it's not just about defense, right? It's about turning those huge challenges into opportunities. This is the guiding mission, the whole philosophy, behind their entire climate strategy.
Now, a mission like that, it needs a dedicated team. So who exactly is tasked with turning all this ambition into a reality on the ground?
That would be the Climate Change and Development Authority, or CCDA for short. You can think of them as the central command for all of Papua New Guinea's climate initiatives. They're the ones coordinating everything from big policy decisions to local partnerships.
Okay, so any effective strategy isn't just about one single solution. The CCDA's whole approach is built on two core complementary pillars that tackle the problem from completely different but equally important angles. Their approach is really a one-two punch. First up is mitigation. That's all about actively reducing emissions through things like forest conservation and sustainable energy. And second is adaptation, which is about helping communities prepare for the climate impacts we're already seeing, with projects like climate-resilient agriculture.
A huge part of their mitigation effort is this idea called REDD+. It's a global initiative, and it's absolutely perfect for a forest-rich nation like Papua New Guinea. It basically means protecting existing forests to slash carbon emissions, and that little plus sign just means they're also focused on managing those forests sustainably for the long haul.
An ambitious two-pronged strategy is fantastic, but, it needs fuel to run. So the crucial point is, how are these projects actually paid for? And this brings us to the real heart of their funding mechanism.
Well, it's this really innovative idea called the green fee. And honestly, it's the engine that powers this entire strategy.
So the green fee is basically a mandatory environmental contribution from every single foreign visitor. It's a super clever way to directly link the impact of international travel to the funding needed for climate resilience. It's kind of like offsetting the carbon footprint of your visit right at the source.
And this isn't just an abstract concept, it's a concrete policy. The fee is set at a very specific, tangible amount, 50 kina for every departing international visitor.
Okay, so the money gets collected. But for a plan like this to really work, transparency is absolutely key. So the big question is, where does that money actually go? And the allocation of these funds is incredibly balanced and smart. A full 40% goes directly to those mitigation efforts, and another 40% supports the adaptation projects. The last 20%, well, that's earmarked for something that's just as vital for any long-term success.
That final 20% goes to something called institutional strengthening. This essentially means they're investing in their own local expertise and the systems they need to manage these climate programs effectively for years to come. So not only are the two main pillars, mitigation and adaptation, funded equally, but the country is also building the foundation to sustain these efforts all on its own. It's brilliant.
Now, it's really important to understand that while this is a national initiative, Papua New Guinea isn't acting in a vacuum here. In fact, they are a key player in a growing global movement. This whole idea of using environmental levies to fund conservation, it's really gaining momentum all over the world.
And they're in some pretty good company. Places like New Zealand, Palau, Spain, and the Philippines have all put similar fees in place, and they're successfully funding everything from biodiversity programs to sustainable tourism.
And this commitment, it comes from the very top. This quote from the Minister for Environment, Conservation, and Climate Change really underscores that this isn't just another policy, it's a core part of their national mission to secure a resilient future for their people.
So, what Papua New Guinea has done is create this amazing, self-sustaining cycle. Tourism helps fund the protection of the very natural beauty that attracts people in the first place. And that leaves us with a final, really powerful question to think about. If a single targeted fee in just one nation can make such a direct impact, what could a whole world of similar creative solutions achieve?